I was working out yesterday and I'm a huge podcast guy. So whenever I work out or do my cardio, I always listen to a nice podcast. It really eases my mind, eases my brain. So while I was hitting the treadmill, I put on a podcast of Tony Robbins. And I was about 15 minutes into my workout and he said something. He talked about reading the Bible and how he read the Bible in 4 days, the whole Bible. And I was like, wow, well, that's impressive. But what he said after made me think, whoa, like I'd never thought of that before. So he was talking about the Old Testament and the New Testament and how God seemed a lot more cruel and unruly in the Old Testament and more loving and forgiving in the New Testament. And now I haven't read the Bible in a long time, honestly. I believe in God and I can feel God whenever I'm praying or whenever I'm meditating, but I haven't read the Bible in a long time, to be honest. So I'm a bit ill-informed, but yeah, he was talking about the Old Testament and the New Testament. And then he asked, does God grow? And that made me sit back and really think for a little bit, like, does God grow? Does he grow? Humans grow. Plants grow. Animals grow. But does God grow? Our creator, does he grow? And I think it actually kind of makes sense that if he did grow, because the world is built around growth. As humans, if we don't grow, we start to become depressed, start to become lonely and empty when we become stagnant in our lives. And growth is a major key component of how this world works. I mean, we'll die if trees don't grow, or we'll die if fruit doesn't grow, or animals don't grow. And society will crumble if humans don't grow. And it made me think, did God set this world up like this because he also had to grow? And a lot of Gen Z and some millennials too, you see an increase in depression and loneliness in men, and a lot of people ending their lives. And I think it's a major component because of growth. Because people aren't growing. Instead, they want to scroll TikTok or go out and party with their friends and hang out with their friends. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing at all in moderation, but if your whole world revolves around partying or drinking and smoking, what are you learning, and what are you gaining from it? Some people will say you gain new experiences, which new experiences are absolutely fine, but I'm talking about if your whole world revolves around it. Like you're doing it every day, you're smoking every day, you're drinking every day, you're masturbating every day. How are you growing? And this is why I believe a lot of people are depressed these days. And a lot of people have no purpose. And actually, for a little bit, I had no purpose. And it was when I made the most amount of money I ever made. And it felt empty. Because after I'd made that money, I chilled. I stopped growing. I stopped wanting to become better. I felt empty and lonely. And it was when I started finally meditating again, reading new information, reading new books, working out again because I had gained a lot of weight. It was when I found new hobbies for myself, is when I started to feel more alive again. And the world went from gray to colorful. But yeah, does God grow? I think it's a very interesting concept. And like I said, I don't know too much about the Bible. I haven't read the Bible in a very long time, which is something I'm slacking on, to be honest. This made me really actually want to pick up the Bible and actually give it a read. But yeah, Christians, let me know if you know a lot about the Bible or you've read the whole Bible. Just let me know if do you think God grows, or I don't know, because I think it's interesting. But I don't know. It's very interesting. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, just subscribe or do whatever. It doesn't really matter. I'm mainly just making these videos for fun and because I kind of enjoy talking to the camera and because I want to document my journey. But yeah, if you want to follow along, just hit the subscribe. My name is Josh, and I'll be documenting myself every single day until I become a millionaire. Peace.